Guys, Kettle Warrior back with another video, and for once I'm actually early with this video. There's been some rumors going around for Mortal Kombat 13 or 2 or whatever they want to call it, possibly coming out either next year or 2028 because they're apparently hiring testers recently. And I wanted to go ahead and do a roster speculation. Unlike when I did this type of video for MK1, where it was just these are who I want to see and these are who I think we're not gonna see. I need to revisit that video and see how accurate I was. I know I was inaccurate on some points, but this time I'm actually putting some thought behind who I think will make the roster. And let's go through. We will talk who I think are going to be on the roster for sure. There's about 20 of those. And then there's a bunch of characters I would like to kind of discuss, see if I think they're going to be what I like them to be, or are they not going to be, for obvious reasons in most cases. I'm going to move my phone out of the way for me to start. Okay, first off, it is Liu Kang's new era. I'm assuming they're going to continue that. Liu Kang is a shoo-in. And if he's not, something's wrong. Also, please give him nunchucks. They reduced Liu Kang to a projectile platform in MK1, and I hated it. I did not play Liu Kang outside of grinding him. He was like the second character I did after Scorpion. Once I got done grinding it, unless I needed him for a Invasion's clue, I didn't touch Liu Kang because he just wasn't fun. Now I'm going to bring you back to MK11 Liu Kang. With the nunchucks, his dragon kick, which they also took away from him in MK1. They took away his fly kick, which is a crime. One, much faster, much more fluid in MK11. And he had the nunchucks, who was just way flashier. And that fits Liu Kang as a character. He's a flashy fighter, not a flashy personality, and that's what I love about him. Not to mention, MK11 Liu Kang, oh good lord, this dude, he was fun. That might be the most fun I have ever had playing a fighting game. MK11 Liu Kang is the only character I have ever gone up against my buddy Isaiah with that made him genuinely fear for the loss of the match against me. He's usually destroying me. My Liu Kang is the only character that has made him say he is genuinely scared of it. So yeah, please make him more like a MK11 Liu Kang. I know they want to innovate with each new game, and the blue fire was a nice touch, but don't do MK1 Liu Kang again, please. Next up, we have our heroes. Raiden. I love MK1 Raiden. I love his personality. I know it's kind of bland compared to Thunder God Raiden, but then again, Thunder God Raiden is just bland in a different way. I love Raiden when he's not the biggest idiot in the room. Not to mention, MK1 is probably Raiden at his most fun in recent memory. For me, at least. Next up, Kung Lao. I don't see them getting rid of the ego problem anytime soon. I've hated Kung Lao's ego since MKX. MK11 especially. But please give my man back his classic moves. I don't know what they did to Kung Lao in MK1, but they butchered my dude. I did not touch him after getting done with him. And he was one of the last characters I did because I just didn't enjoy playing him. Holy crap, they butchered my dude. Kenshi. One, he's one of the main heroes. Two, he's still got a story going on as of the end of MK1. I didn't personally love the way he played in MK1, which upset me because Kenshi is my dude. I love this guy. Yeah, I really started loving him in MKX. Still the best he's ever been. Next, Johnny Cage. I don't see them ever leaving out Johnny Cage. I didn't love the way he played in MK1. I haven't really gelled with a Johnny ever. But MK11 was probably as close as I came to actually liking him. Next up, Asha. I would consider her part of the main hero squad at this point. Asha has just always been an interesting character to me, and shockingly, she might have come out of MK1 the most fun character to me. That feels wrong just saying it, but I speak the truth. She still has a story going on with Serena. She frees her in her character ending. And that brings us to our next character, Serena. She was a cameo, and she was a broken cameo in MK1. And people are saying they don't think the cameo system is going to come back. I don't think it is either. One, because they just never reuse their gimmicks. I am a defender of the cameo system. You do not need it to play the game, to do cool things, and to have fun. You might need it competitively, but if you're just trying to play the game, do cool things, and have fun, you do not need it. But Serena is one of those cameos that you just throw her onto anybody, and you just rock their world. I liked using her with Astra. But I expect her to be playable in the next game. Cannot wait to see how they rework her moveset. I hope they give her like the knives that she could throw in Armageddon. I loved that move. It was so spammable. Next up, Scorpion. They say there will never be an MK without a Scorpion. MK3 exists. Scorpion was not in the default MK3, and people seem to forget that. I don't think they will ever leave him out again, and they quickly realized they screwed up on MK3, releasing Ultimate MK3, and he was right there at the top row. But also, another thing. People don't like that Scorpion is Kuai Liang in this game. Hanzo is just a kid. And people seem to like that Sub-Zero was Bihan. I did not like Sub-Zero's Bihan. I grew to really like Kuai Liang as a character. But I do not hate the swap where Kuai Liang is Scorpion. I don't dislike it. I do dislike that they took away his katanas, though. Give my man back his swords. Although the all kunai fighting style was very interesting, especially his back three where he like wrapped it around your ankle and tripped you. That was a cool move. Yeah, I expect Scorpion to come back. Leader of the Shirai now alongside his sidekick Smoke. I love this dude. Smoke is my next character. Please bring him back more often. Smoke's my bro. I love this guy. Next, Cyrax. They gender swapped Cyrax and Sector, and I feel like I'm the only one who didn't hate it. I've kind of grown attached to female Cyrax, not gonna lie. I love her. Sector not so much. But she switched sides fully, now part of the Shiraryu, and trying to make up for the sins of her past, and I can get behind a character like that. Not to mention, I liked her voice. Personality wasn't the best. And, I mean, she still kind of felt like the Cyber Cyrax. Same sort of moves. Cool innovation with, like, the gliding tech, stuff like that. But she also just had more personality, and that's why I hate the cyborgs. They have zero personality. And in a character, you need personality. Next up, Sector. You can't have ketchup without mustard. I said that backwards. You can't have mustard without ketchup because I said Cyrax first. I do not like Sector in MK1. I don't like her characterization. I don't really care for her playstyle. but I expected them to bring her back since she's technically the Grandmaster of the Lin Kuei. I think you, I think you screwed up, Liu Kang. I think you might have screwed up, my dude. Second, Noob Saibot. Beyond is no Noob Saibot after Chaos Reigns. I did not like his playstyle too much. I mean, he had some pretty slick combos in MK1. Just bread and butter, like basic 2 and 3 hitters. But his were 4 hitters. I liked him best in MK11 when he had the sickle. I like weapon-based characters. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Um, Either way, though, I expect him to be back. I hope they give him his classic look back because I did not like the like black and green look he had going on. What was that about? Um, yeah, Sector's ending. I think I don't remember exactly. It shows her like freeing him from the Temple of the Elements where Liu Kang hit him, which has a Fujin reference in there. We'll get to him later. I don't think he's confirmed like for the base roster, but he's one I would love to see. Um, Next up, Frost. She was a cameo. I actually loved using her with Takeda, especially her dagger spin. We don't have a Cryomancer anymore. Bihan dies, essentially. He becomes Noob Saibot. He doesn't have Ice Pyros anymore. So they kind of were setting Frost up, even like she's mentioned in some of the intros. So I expect that she will. I hope they don't like rename her to Sub-Zero. Like, don't do that. Don't technically gender swap Sub-Zero. People hated it with Sector and Zyrax enough. Just call her Frost. We can live without a Sub-Zero. She's Sub-Zero in spirit, and everybody knows it. But if we get human Frost, I hated Cyber Frost, but honestly, with the whole cyberization of the Lin Kuei, that's probably where they're going, and I hate it. But if we were to get like human Frost and she's not a jerk, I would be happy. Either way, I'm kind of expecting her to happen. Next up, Melina, the current Empress of Outworld and Tarkat victim. We learned in MK11, you leave Melina out of the base roster of a game, people threaten to burn down your home. So I don't expect them to leave Melina or Katana out anytime soon. Katana's just a fan favorite, and Melina, people are toxic. Katana, again, don't expect her to be missing from the base roster. Jade. They will put this girl in MK13 or whatever they call it if they know what's good for her. Good for them. She was supposed to be in Kombat Pack 3 for what I've heard. She's referenced multiple times in the game, although they are through just intros. And Tanya kind of stole her playstyle. I was not a fan of that. Not to mention, I didn't even like the way Sonya played. I said Sonya there, I think. Tanya, excuse me. I expect Jade to be back. Next, Reptile. My boy Sizov. Actually, we'll handle both of these. Reptile and Baraka. Both, okay, Baraka, better than he's ever been. He plays fantastic. I love the blade sound effects, too. Second, both of them being good guys now and getting more justice than they have gotten in their entire 30 plus years of existence. Thank you, God. They made it happen. I know people hate it, like, oh, no one's allowed to be a bad guy in this universe. No, Reptile and Baraka, please leave them be. I love good guy Sizoth. I'm sorry. I have never loved Reptile this much. Yeah, please, 1, bring them back, and 2, leave them alone, please. Baraka, he could be absent he doesn't really have a story going into this game. Reptile absolutely does. He better be on this roster. He still has a story to finish. What is he, Cody Rhodes? Next up, Rain. Speaking of a story to finish, uh, they left Rain on a cliffhanger. Dude just destroyed an entire city with his powers, and then realizes what he's done, and is hoping for Melina to spare him. I, for his sake and mine, I hope she does. I love Rain. Not a fan of the fact that he's zero weapon in MK1. They gave him a staff, but he does not actually hit you with it. It's just a channeling device. I loved his guitar in MK11. And that, not to mention, it was just super fun in that game. Yeah, I expect Rain to be back. I hope he's back. Next up, Shao Kahn. I'm assuming they're not going to stick to the general Zhao naming. A lot of people hated that. In MK1 endings, which are canon, Shao and Reiko free Onaga. I'm expecting Onaga to be the boss here, but Reiko clearly, like, dies. Or expects that he will in his ending. So, I don't know if Reiko will be back. I'm expecting Shao Kahn to be back. And then lastly, Jax. Kenshi is literally working alongside Jax. And I'm expecting him to be back. Those are the characters I'm 100% expecting on the roster. Now let's get into the ones that I'm not sure, or they're not for sure going to be on the roster. First off, Cassie. I'm going to acquire a lot of haters right now. I love Cassie. I don't think every character in this universe needs to be edgy and willing to kill somebody at every turn. You gotta have character in your character roster. I mean, you have Liu Kang, who's serious, Scorpion, who tends toward violence. You have Johnny, who is an absolute goofball. And then you got Cassie, who is very energetic, definitely a millennial, which is hilarious. You need character variety, and people seem to hate that. They want just all edge all the time. I'm not that kind of person. I love Cassie. Her personality is great, and she's hilarious, especially in MK11. Now, do I think she's going to be in 13? I'm calling it 13 just for naming's sake. I would say no. Might be DLC. I would say no for base roster. Because we don't know for sure if Sonya's going to be a thing. And second Kombat Kid, Takeda. He was in MK1, so I'm inclined to say no. Not to mention, a lot of people didn't like his retcon for his story, including me. MKX Takeda just felt so good to play too. And this version, while far from bad, doesn't feel as good. He borrows a thing from Fei Long, which is the Rekakin move. The Rekka move, his down forward 4 spammed 3 times, which I actually use as part of my main combo. And like his playstyle with like the exploding ninja stars is very interesting, but he doesn't feel as good as MKX to get it. Not to mention he's in this game. People didn't like his retcon. I'm not expecting my homie to come back, even though I love him. I love to get it. 3 Cabal. I'm always rooting for Cabal, dude. I love Cabal. He would have to be rewritten for him to be in this story or in this game, but I would love him in this game. I love Cabal, man. MK11 Cabal is one of my favorite characters in the game. Next, Nightwolf. Speaking of one of my favorite characters in MK11, he was so fun. Another character I'm always rooting for this guy. He had a Tester Might death in MK1. But yeah, I would love Nightwolf. He's a flip of a coin. But I would love for him to be in the game. He would make my roster every single time. Same for Gabal if I had a choice. Ermac, I need more Ermac in my life. I love him. Wasn't my favorite character in MK1, although he's probably one of the better ones, better times I've played him. MKX, he felt like he took way too much work to do anything cool. MK1, you could do some cool stuff with him. But he's kind of played out in this story. I hope he's back, but I don't know where they would take him. Aaron Black. Never in my life did I think Mortal Kombat would ever have a cowboy. But I love him. I love Aaron Black. And again, I'm hoping he would be back. Don't know what they would do with him, but I'm always rooting for this guy. Again, he's just one of my favorites. I can't help it. And I'm usually against gun characters. I hated RoboCop in MK1 because MK11, excuse me, because it felt like you just stepped into a Call of Duty game. Because dude just would not stop shooting at you. That's all he did. Even most of his combos were shot based. Forward 3-2-1-1-1. Anybody? That was my main combo with him. But they managed to make Aaron Black not entirely gun based. He has like the slide, which is weird. He had the acid in MK11. He had the traps, the TNT, the sand grenades. They made him fun. And if they made him more of an interesting character, which he's been in 2 games, clearly he doesn't need any more character development. We all love him just as he is, even though he's a jobber. He's kind of been like he filled the Ermac and Baraka, or Ermac Reptile Baraka slot of like always being the jobbers, always getting the crap beat out of them. It's Ermac it's Aaron Black in this game, MK11, MKX. Yet we all love him just like we do the other 3 I just mentioned. I don't know. Again, flip of the coin with Aaron Black. I would love for him though. I'd love for him to be in. Next, Kotal Khan. He's mentioned directly in story mode. I don't know what's our temperature check on Kotal. I'm not as big of a fan of him in MKX unless I'm playing War God Kotal, the sword variation, because I feel like it makes up for his disadvantages, which is speed because it gives him range. In MK11, even though he still felt slow, he still felt like a tank, and they had all the swords and the hooks and stuff. He was fun. He was one of my favorite characters to play. But I don't know. He was mentioned in story mode, which I feel like kind of gives him a leg up. He was only mentioned in the fact that Raiden whooped him. So is Shiva, and there's another character mentioned there. I just don't remember it. Again, flip of a coin with Kotal. I'm thinking no, though. Like, he's been in the past 2 games. No, he wasn't in MK1. Sorry, I'm referring to MKX and 11. Yeah, flip of a coin, 50-50. Fujin, a character they would significantly need to rewrite, much like Cabal, because in this timeline so far there is no Black Dragon, because there is no Kano yet. And in this timeline, I don't know if there are any other gods other than Liu Kang. But if they rewrote Fujin, made him mortal like they did Raiden, and kind of gave him the same powers, switched up his personality a little bit, made him more personable, I think he would be cool. And just the curiosity of that, how they would rewrite Fujin, because even though he was in MK11, and they like did have to almost kind of rework him a little bit. He was still the same character basically, but seeing him rewritten would be kind of dope. I just kind of talked myself into wanting Fujin in MK13, but I don't know if they'll go that route. Goro next. He was a cameo. He was a fun cameo. I would say no for our favorite Shokwan boy. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm gonna go with no for Goro. I don't have a reason other than like he's never in back-to-back games. Don't look at me and say MK9 and MKX. He wasn't playable in MK9. Next, this poor guy, Striker. I'm always rooting for you, man. Funny story about Striker. When they released the trailer that showed off his cameo, I think that was the like the exiled trailer or whatever, the banished, where they showed off Silo. Um, they showed off Striker, and I heard the gun go off, and I knew it was Striker. I thought he was playable. I'm sitting down here in my room watching this trailer. I popped off so loud that my dad comes downstairs. He was upstairs in the room, which is literally across the house, as far away from me as he could get. Comes downstairs and asks what I'm screaming about. And I had to explain that I thought Striker was playable in this game. And then it comes out and I realize he's just a cameo. I was heartbroken. Because thanks to MK9, I love Striker. And then I had my hopes crushed. So hopefully he's in this game, but I will not get my hopes up. Kongjin. I would love Kongjin to come back. I liked him in MKX. His personality is great. And he's sat out 2 games. Takeda sat out 2 games, or 1 game and game in. Kongjin has now sat out 2. I would hope he's back. No idea what kind of rewrite they'd go with him. But I hope it's better than Takeda's. I'm going to say I hope so. For Kongjin. Scarlet. Spoiler alert, Nitara is not coming back because they're not going to recast Megan Fox. Fan lashback on that was devastating. To the point that I almost feel sorry for her. Megan Fox, not Nitara. Screw Nitara in this case. No, generally I like Nitara. But holy crap. I have heard worse voice acting. But that was pretty bad. No, I like Nitara fine. I don't think she's coming back. But in her place, maybe Scarlet? I like Scarlet in MK11 despite the fact that she is a projectile platform. Much like in Super Smash Bros., any character that is designed around projectiling is usually way more fun if you just go in. But yeah, hopefully Scarlet is a hopefully. Lee May. She was in MK1. I actually enjoyed her playstyle. I did not, however, enjoy her personality or story. I don't know what I want them to do with Lee May. So, and they kind of wrapped up her story with her leaving the royal court and becoming a full-time Sundo police officer, basically. So, I'm not expecting her to come back. Unless something drastic happens. Maybe in a story cutscene, but not as a character. Or not as a playable character. Kano. People love Kano. Or they hate Kano. I mean, he's not like a super popular like villain. He'll never be the main villain of a story. I bet. Watch, he'll be the main villain of the story. It would be interesting, but I doubt it. Um, Kano, how do I feel about you, man? I love his personality. He's one of those kind. He's that kind of guy that you just you love to hate. And in MK11, he was like toward the end of MK11's lifespan. I found both Kano and Shao Kahn were pretty fun if you just used them the right way and used the right moves. Um, I would say Kano. As much as I want to say no, I have a feeling he's gonna be there. Because I was shocked when he wasn't in MK1, unless you count his cameo, which another fun cameo if you want to be an absolute jerk. You pair Kano with like Homelander, which I hate Homelander, but you pair Kano with Homelander, you become an absolute campy son of a gun. Not that Homelander already isn't, but that just adds another laser beam. Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung could have been in my like. I know these guys are going to be on the roster, but I don't really because he was the main villain, kind of. And usually the main villain doesn't stick around, but he also has some story left. So I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, I think Shang is confirmed. In my head, he's in the ones that like it would make perfect sense if he came back. Sonya, Mama Blade. She has no ties like into the story currently, like Jax does. But just because like people were mad that she wasn't in MK1, I'm kind of expecting her. I hope they mix up her playstyle though. I've never really gelled with a Sonya. She was kind of fun in MK11, kind of fun in MKX, Covert Ops specifically. Demo was gross in MKX. Like I know the demolition, pun intended, that's the name of the variation, that this variation can cause. I just don't have the skill and timing to work with the grenades. So I played Covert Ops, which I liked the military stands and the garrote berry, which the garrote wire berry, like that's a cool tool. I wish they would bring that back. And she was very counter heavy in MK11, so I don't know why she didn't have it. She just had a lot of martial arts counters. So yeah, Sonya, I would say probably. She'll probably be there. Quan Chi. I don't expect Quan Chi to come back. It doesn't look like he really has that much story left. I mean, Shang Tsung, like, you still got some there. Quan Chi, not really. I'm gonna go ahead and say Quan Chi won't come back. He's probably the most fun he's ever been in MK1. Although, admittedly, I did not come back to him after leveling him up completely. The only characters I really came back to after leveling them up completely for DLC were Takeda and Cyrax. None of the guest characters, because I really don't like guest characters as a concept. Tanya, no. Tanya was weirdly redesigned and used okay. The 3-section staff was cool. Like that's a unique weapon that we've never seen an MK character use. The Jade ripoff, the blatant Jade ripoff, was not cool. And I'm expecting Jade to be on the main roster, so I'm not expecting Tanya to be unless they rework her back into her like her MKX variant. One of the two, and Jade has a significantly different role. There is a timeline where Tanya is on the main roster alongside Jade. I don't see it though. I'm thinking Jade's gonna replace her. Jackie Briggs, they literally erased this girl from history in MK11 in her own character ending. That's how much I dislike her. And personally, outside from the fact that she's kind of fun in MK11, I don't like her much either. She doesn't have characterization. She doesn't have personality outside of a generic tough girl and proud of her family. Like that's her only characterization, and they do nothing with her. Nope. I've grown to dislike Jackie, and apparently so has NetherRealm, so I don't see her coming back for a while. Natara, we already discussed, she's out. They're not hiring the same actress twice. Onaga, I'm kind of expecting this big boy to be the bad guy of this game. I'm obviously I have no inside sources. I'm just a fan here. I'm just a fan spitballing in the wind. Um, but I don't know where else they would go. So I don't know if Obunaga will be playable, but I'm kind of expecting him to be the villain. Sindel literally died in the story mode. I would say no. And after, dude, okay, small tangent since we're on the topic. MK9 Evil Sindel murders my entire childhood. I kid you not, that story mode left me crying. I was only 11 or 12 at the time. These characters, every other kid in grade school was either like they were fans of other things, like superheroes or whatever, what have you. My head was filled with Mortal Kombat lore and characters. I kid you not when I say this franchise and its characters and its world were my childhood. And come 2011, I watched my entire childhood get murdered in front of me by this lady. Minus Kung Lao and Liu Kang, they were special. um, but they still died. And I still felt it. And then come MK11. They give Sindel a chance. They try to make you think she's reformed. And I bought it. Even though I hated her. I didn't even like how she played in MK11. But I bought into the redemption arc because at this point I still believed. MK9 Sindel was brainwashed. She was under control of Shao Kahn. This version technically wasn't. I thought she might turn around, and then the little bit of trust I gave her was betrayed. And you had to go through Cassie, Johnny, Kung Lao, and Liu Kang, and Katana, I think. But actually, I don't think you had to fight Katana. But still, it hurts. And people always say they want to be able to play as the villains. They want to be able to play as the villains. They want to be able to play as the villains. And then every time we get the chance, people don't like it. Because they gotta beat up the characters that they've known and loved for their entire lives. I don't like seeing characters like Reptile, Baraka, Goro. I don't like seeing them get jobbed out constantly. But the alternative is seeing our heroes get jobbed out, and he become less believable heroes the more they lose. Now, come on to MK1. They made Sindel the Queen of Outworld. At this point, I didn't like her. I will never like Sindel again after both MK9 and MK11. I don't care what you do. I can't hear that voice and think, good guy. I will never be able to hear that voice and think, that's a good guy character. That's one of the heroes. And if you want me to buy Sindel as a hero, recast her. But yeah, story-wise, Sindel is dead. Someone who is not dead is Geras. I didn't like him in MK11. I like his story better in MK1, but I don't like his playstyle any better. I actually like it even worse because MK11 and Geras was at least rewarding. This Geras, I don't like him. The voice change was odd. I'm pretty sure that's Phil Lamar, Kotal Khan's voice. Since it is Liu Kang's new era, and Geras is technically Liu Kang's advisor and current keeper of the hourglass, I can see them bringing him back. I hope they don't, but I can see it. Next up, Shujinko. If Onaga is going to be the villain, this guy is probably going to be playable. That's really all I have to say. I don't care if he is or isn't. Now, people always think, oh, you guys younger, or you younger guys, you don't really understand this character. Like, this character's cool, people like him. I do like Shujinko. I played Armageddon. I didn't play Deception, but I've seen the story of it. I played Armageddon. I love playing Shujinko because you can do some pretty gross combos with all his moves. I like Shujinko just fine, so don't think I'm just too young of a kid to understand how important this character is. I'm 25. Almost 25. But yeah, I know who this guy is. I like him. And if Onaga is the main villain, I'm smart enough to expect that Shujinko will at least be playable, if not the main hero. That's really all I gotta say. Next, Reiko. Reiko goes into his ending of freeing and taming Onaga, expecting that he will die. I'm expecting that he is dead. I would have expected that he died accomplishing his goal, and now Shao Kahn has control of Onaga. So I'm not expecting Reiko to come back. Enjoy him in MK1. I do not, although I love the wrestling style. I will never get tired of DDTing somebody into the floor and murdering them. That is an amazing brutality. Mavado. Speaking of characters that are dead, he was a cameo, and I actually liked the cameo. He was ridiculous in MK1, but I mean, he's a ridiculous character. Love the static trap move they gave him. But Takeda kills him. I'm pretty sure in his ending. Or at least he dies in Takeda's ending. I don't remember Takeda's ending for sure. So Mavado is also dead. Tremor, another cameo character. No reason for him to come back, but NetherRealm is NetherRealm. Havoc. This new era version of Havoc has fallen on his ugly face twice. People didn't like him in the main story or in the main game, and then when Kaz Reigns came around, people also didn't really seem to like him. I didn't like the way he played, really. So I don't think he'll be back. Also, like, I love the scene in the story where Scorpion just like dunks him and burns his face off. That is one way to gain his classic look. And I think like that's what a lot of people didn't like. It's like in the story mode, Kombat does not have his hat when you play him. Kenshi does not have Sento. Raiden doesn't have his name light for the first part of his chapter. He doesn't have his lightning powers. You kind of see a lot of like the coming of age moments of these characters, so their move sets are not really complete when you play them. I think Johnny's is. I think most of the ones that aren't are the ones I just named. I genuinely like seeing how we got these, how each character like got to where they should be in the different ways. We even get to see Kuai Liang get his scar. Now, those are all the characters that were in the main game and characters I'm expecting to come back. You have my main roster already that I think is going to be there. A character from the 3D era, if you count MK4 as part of that, that I would like to come back. I would love to see how they would rework him. Is Kai. No idea what they would do with him. I mean, he's name dropped in a lot of intros. Asha refers to him a lot as Master Kai, so I'm assuming he's one of the Shaolin teachers. I would love to see this man step in the ring and see how they rework him, see what kind of story they tell with him, see how they rework his combat and all that. I hope they bring Kai back. If not in this game, please the next game. That would be fun. I kind of miss this guy. I'm sure nobody else does. But that is all we are going to discuss today. I will run over the roster that I think we're going to have as at least a starting roster of like 20. Liu Kang, Raiden, Kung Lao, Kenshi, Johnny Cage, Asha, Serena, Scorpion, Smoke, Cyrex, Sector, Noob, Frost, Melina, Kitana, Jade, Reptile, Baraka, Shao Kahn, Jax. Those are the ones that I think are shoe-ins. And that's a 20 roster. 20, 21-ish. We usually only have like a starting roster of 24, 25-ish. The last few games it was supposed to be 25 in MK1 too, but and MK1 also, but Quan Chi and Ermac didn't happen. Which I feel like is a lie. Conspiracy theory real quick. I feel like that's a lie because who was planned for the other two slots if Quan Chi and Ermac were supposed to be base game? Thought for food. But yeah, that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for putting up with my craziness. Peace out.
Speech on. Low power mode. Button. Close. Close. Button. 0 people. Camera. Stop recording video. Button.